Turn the fan on, and let's get into this. It's hot outside. All right, greetings. So, I want to talk about something real quick. I came back into the house, because I, take a break, listen to an Asmongold video, and he's showing what people are buying on EBT. And by the way, I just want to point out to all the folks on EBT that were making these videos. Yeah, everybody knows you're the ones that done screwed it up for everybody else. Where am I going with this? It's Freedom Phil, like, subscribe. Hey, turn up the video speed. Why do I say that? You can watch videos faster. Let's get into it. I'm just doing a recording right now. I ain't taking no chats. It's like this. I've done videos before on why America's so obese. And that Asmongold video shows you what people are buying under EBT. And you see some of these people with balances that are so ridiculously high. I mean, an age and a half ago, I got $200 a month. And it only took me $100 a month to live. I was eating pretty good, like good canned fish, vegetables, some meat. I was actually eating a healthy diet, and I still had $100 left over. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. You can literally go to the food banks and get all the food you need and then some. So that's part of the reason that you see a lot of these people on EBT going out there and buying like candy, pop, chips. And as the thumbnail shows, yeah. Government's changing that. And you know what it is? This is the exact problem. When they talk about gangsters and mobsters back in the day, they were quiet about what they were doing. They didn't tell everybody about the scam. They didn't tell anybody about what they were doing. Trashy folks always looking for credit and clout. Look at us. I mean, you got women that are bigger than me. Bigger than me. And the term dependopotamus pops into people's head when they see that. They're like, oh, Jesus Christ. You just spent $600 on food that is mostly sugary bullshit. And then you have the nerve to be like, who's going to help me feed my 4 kids? Meanwhile, the father was not available for comment. They literally can get more than enough food from the food banks. So when they go to the stores or the EBT, they already got enough food at home. So that's part of the reason they were buying the chips, the candy, all this, the soda, the energy drinks. Back in the day, you couldn't buy cooked food, the state I was in at the time, but you could buy Papa Murphy's because it was uncooked. I think you could even buy Subway back then. I'm not sure. But now in a lot of places, McDonald's accepts EBT. The name of this video is Reasons Men Stop Working. When you see that people who do absolutely nothing are living far better than you as a working class person, all this right and wrong doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean a goddamn thing. The only thing that matters, you know what's right and what's wrong? Well, you want to look at the higher echelons of power, what gets results? Why is it once you're some governor or senator, you can do insider trading? It's not wrong for them. It's wrong for you. It's wrong for me, but not wrong for them. And legally, if it's so wrong, you should feel bad about taking money from other people. I don't see anybody repealing it. When you see, as a working class person, someone who's literally done nothing their whole goddamn lives, sitting there acting entitled, like they go out there and they'll buy the most expensive crap. They live in an apartment. This is, by the way, you ladies that are doing this crap, and look, I know the white people do it, but most of the videos show like trashy black folks doing it. And by the way, for all the, moving on up black people, yeah, I feel you. It's the same thing when you see white trash doing. You're like, But when you're a working class person and you see someone living in a nicer apartment than you could dream to afford, you see that they have their heating paid for. You see their water bills paid for. You see that basically everything. It's the same problem I have with, Habitat for Humanity. Like, okay, so if you're a complete screw up, we're going to help get you into a house. But good working class people, you got to pay full price. The thinking people of the world eventually figure out there is no right and wrong. There's only what gets results. and there's only what you get punished for. And if you're going to reward people for becoming dependents on the system, then it's not wrong because you're rewarding them. Yeah, but the taxes and right and wrong and the Lord and Jesus. That doesn't mean shit. It's just about results. And when I watch some of those videos, I guess why it gets under my skin is I got to take my own money and I got to eat a substandard diet, for being honest. If I go out there to the West Coast and I can go out and at least harvest some wild edibles, I'm getting nutrition, not because the system made it easier for me to do it, but because I happen to be in an area that's landmass happens to grow food naturally. If I go to the grocery store and I see that grocery store and the cost of cabbage, the cost of, I hate the shit, but kale, the cost of multivitamins. And I'm supposed to feel for some fucking poor people that are bigger than me. Bitches are bigger than me. And then they're saying, well, you know, all these men not going to work. Why the fuck would I go to work to pay taxes? Like anywhere from 30 to 40. And if I'm more productive, 50% of my life's work given to other people. And for what? So they can get a free ride? You can be retired in America by the age of 30. Work hard, live as cheap as possible, invest when you're young. But God, after that, I'd be like, no, your goal should be after you've got everything figured out to pay as little in as possible. In fact, if you got a decent trade and you can make a 1099 business, work hard, build it up, make your money, then sell it off and invest, pay as little into the system as possible, that should be your goal. Because your system tells you how much they value your contribution based on what they're fucking wasting it on. I don't give a shit about some other country. It's billions of dollars given to some other country, probably just bribery money. I don't give a crap about some other conflict. And you can bet I don't give a damn about some fucking people who cranked out kids who just like, how are we going to feed them? I don't know. Where's the father? Oh, he wasn't available for comment. Big surprise. But you keep on telling these young men they need to go out and work. Well, you need to be working hard to be productive. For this? For this? Nah. They need to bring back like government food. Like here's a block of cheese. Here's something that we think is meat. Here's some beans and rice. And if you see a woman, I swear to God, they need to bring back audits. Like when you go into some of these nice apartments these people are living in, they're trashed, of course, because the people are trashy people. Fucking got the fucking Chiefy Pop fucking hair cover on her head. She looks trash. I don't care, white, black, what the fuck ever. It's all the same shit. They need to go back to doing audits. They walk in there and they say, you got a Gucci purse? You got Gucci? But you need $1,200 a month for food stamps? The fuck? I said this before and I'll say it again. We need to build a welfare barracks. If you're so fucking poor you can't make it, we send you off there. The men are going over here with the boys that are about this age, and the women are going over here with the young children and the girls. Half the week you be cleaning garbage somewhere off the streets, the other half you're learning a trade. And you don't want to do that, you don't have to. But if we catch you raising your kids in some fuck shit situation because we're not paying for you anymore, then we're going to take your kids and fucking sterilize you. Ooh, yeah, no, fuck that. If you can't afford to feed your kids and you can't even afford to pay for a home, I mean, hey, by the way, churches, mosques, temples, synagogues, you all step up. All step up. Have the people of God helping these people. And the people that want to be charitable. By the way, all you Democrats that are so charitable with everybody else's money, step up. But to sit there and tell the average working class person that they got to pay more in taxes for people that are living high in the hog, because like I said earlier, if you think what they're doing is wrong, then why do you reward them for it? And why do you punish the people who do the quote-unquote right thing? And I agree with what Asmongold said on this. The problem is a person who makes 30 grand a year pretty much gets all their money back. And they definitely, if they got kids in public school, oh yeah. Anywhere from 10,000 to 15,000 per student per year, times 13 years, K through 12, and then times how many kids? Shit, they ain't gonna pay nothing. Most working class people don't pay nothing, but at least they contribute something in GDP. They build something, produce something. But the reality is, if you're going to tell people, well, you got to work and you make, $70,000, $80,000, $100,000 or $100K per year, and all you do is punish them, progressive taxation, for instance. You just punish them the more that they make. And then you're like, what? Why aren't these guys working? Huh? What's happening to society? We don't have enough plumbers or electricians or truck drivers or anything. How are we going to get you? Yeah, maybe stop punishing them for doing the right thing. But if the wrong thing gets better results, that's now the new right thing. So I don't even fault people for taking advantage of the system when we've basically made that's the system. You're allowed to take advantage of it. And I know people are like, you're an asshole. Yeah, I am. At least I'm honest. Like people say, wait a minute, don't you bum change? Yeah, when I bum change, it's a voluntary thing. Nobody has to give me shit. But when you vote to take someone else's money out of their pocket, also what? You can feel good about yourself? I just think there's something wrong. You watch those videos of the shit people are buying. Haagen-Dazs ice cream, Dino chicken nuggets, Marie Callender pot pies. Those big cream pies? Some of the stuff you'll get at the food bank occasionally. When you're giving people the ability to go out and buy that shit, all you're telling to the working class people is you're a chump if you work. You're a chump if you participate in the system. If you're not milking the system, if you're not a parasite on the system, then you're a chump. And if you think I'm an asshole for telling the truth about it, maybe it's because you know what you're doing is fucked up. But once again, if the system rewards you for doing the quote unquote wrong thing, then it's not the wrong thing. And if we all, as a people, vote for this and that, like people talk about legal, illegal, all that shit. If it's not illegal, then it's not wrong. But I don't know. It's just one thing that gets under my skin because I'll hear these people talk, these Democrats and these soft-hearted Republicans, these bleeding hearts all over the place. Look, we need to help the poor. There are no fucking poor in America, other than a handful of people living on the streets that have taken too much fucking drugs and fentanyl that are shitting their own pants. But that's a whole different category. The quote-unquote poor died out when the beginning of the die-out of that was Lyndon B. Johnson. And if you said, well, I grew up in the hood or the ghetto or the Appalachian trailer park, yeah, your parents were shit. Your parents were shit, and that's why you grew up in a shitty situation. Not hard to understand. That's not the system failing. It's your parents failing. Like when you had food stamps have been around since I was a kid. And you still had parents that go out somehow fuck that up. Drug addict parents, I don't know, people who lived on the res, people who lived in trailer parks, go to the cities, the hood. The reason your life was shit as a child because of your parents. But since the 60s and progressing on and onward, farther and on, there hasn't been poverty. We don't know poverty like we used to know poverty. People aren't starving. You don't see people looking like, escapees from Auschwitz. What do we see? People bigger than me. I don't know. I'm just ranting at this point, but yeah. When I see people checking out of working, especially young men, and you're just like, why would I try? Just go watch that video by Asmongold where they show you what people are buying. And then tell me why the hell you should work hard if you're not going to be rewarded. Just say it. Peace.